Hello and welcome back to more AEW on TEW 2020. We are here, second week of March on our Saturday show of Collision. A jam-packed episode in this one. Lots of things going on. We have the fifth round of the Tag Team Continental Classic. Lucha Bros will be taking on the Gates of Agony in our opening match. The Dynasty Marketing Incorporated will be taking on La Facción Ingobernable, as well as we will see from the Dynasty Marketing Incorporated following their kidnapping last week and how they got back here. Tag Team Champions Big Bill and Ricky Starks will be taking on the Righteous as well. Kazuchika Okada that is, will be taking on Jeff Hardy in a nice exhibition match. We'll also see Samoa Joe and Nick Wayne both in action. We will hear from Adam Cole and Jack Perry. And in our main event, trust me, totally legit ROH title match. We can just say it. Go with me, okay? Athena takes on Britt Baker. In that opening match between the Gates of Agony and the Lucha Bros, the Gates of Agony actually pick up the win. A bit surprising that we do have the win from the GOA. However, it seems as though Mogul Embassy's entire group is having some good momentum. After this, we see the Outcasts backstage bickering with each other, and Lexi Nair approaches and asks them about their interactions last week. Well, yeah, last week technically still, with Thunder Rosa nearly 2 weeks ago with Thunder Rosa. They brushed it off, saying that they've been people who have been pushed aside, and not, they're really going out there. They're trying to prove themselves as the top class that they deserve to be. And it's not just with people like Thunder Rosa that are insulting them, but also Hikaru Shida, the Royal Flush. Really, there's a ton of people out here in the company that are still bothering with them. They're interrupted by someone who we've never seen before. Not even if you're the biggest indie mark in the world. Have you ever seen this person? She comes up and asks them if they're really all that, and if they can prove it. Zeno brushes her off, saying that they don't even know who this person is, and she introduces herself as Noelle Clayton, the top dog at the Nightmare Factory, and what's really all that in pro wrestling. Dino laughs the sauce, causing the young worker to challenge her to a match tonight, which Tenille accepts, assuming it will be a pretty easy match. By that last line, you probably already know how it's going to go. Noelle Clayton, she's not actually the governor of the Nightmare Factory. I think she might be Black and Brave. Maybe Monster Factory, I'm not sure exactly which. But regardless, we are going to kayfabe her as being from the Nightmare Factory. She still definitely is a work in progress. Stamina is a huge issue, but very good star quality, very good presentation already. Presentation skills, that is, entertainment skills. Very good overall, but again, still a work in progress. She is in a performance center right now, so no problems there. The what's next gimmick, great. More merchandise, which could be pretty good. What a shock, Kazuchika Okada defeats Jeff Hardy with a Rainmaker. And following, Jeff Jarrett interrupts the celebrations, the post-match winning stuff with his music hits. He comes up with a mic and his full stable. Jarrett says that Okada has always had more time, he's had time to consider the offer, and he's still gonna leave it on the table. And there's more on the than just being alongside a legend like Jeff Jarrett, one of the most renowned veterans in the history of pro wrestling. And he reiterates that, as a new member of AEW's executive crew, trying to not outright say that he's the booker, but he's the booker, he can help Okada go to new heights that he's never dreamed of. As they get into the ring, Jay Lethal grabs Jarrett's mic. Jay Lethal still does have some decent comedy work. I mean, it's not like full-blown black machismo, but he's going in and he's kind of like acting up, oh, I'm the interviewer now, oh, look at me. And he asks Okada, you've been offered this opportunity by Jeff Jarrett, so how do you respond to being a hand-picked member of Jarrett's crew? And Okada's like, he would be happy to join. It sounds like a good opportunity if any of Jeff Jarrett's crew can beat him. Jay's actually kind of shocked by the fact that Okada just accepted this, but Jarrett's like, all right, cool. Everything will be handled. 2 weeks' time, gauntlet match. All 5 members of my crew. And Okada's like, there's only 4 of you. But Jarrett insists that there is a 5th that will be joining, all in due time. Kazuchika Okada against I don't know if they actually have a name. Their stable name is Heat right now. So you'll see that in the end when we go. Well, you can see the full thing, the full card at the end. They are called Heat. I might find an actual name for them. Doesn't really matter that much though. Video then shows the results of the follow-up, I should say, not results, of Billy Gunn's kidnapping of Dynasty Marketing Incorporated last week, and this is tagged as a few days prior. So it's not like they're this literally just happened. This was probably like Tuesday or something like that. The Rich Boys are seen, they're shoveled, they're all a mess, and they're by themselves. They've been walking for a while, and they complain, they kind of just exposit how it sucks that they had to give away their limo. They got driven out however far. They didn't have their phones on. They couldn't call anyone. They couldn't call any other guys to come pick them up. They've been walking. Yeah, probably not going to say that they've been walking all the way to Alabama from North Carolina. But maybe we could say that they've been hitchhiking a little bit. I don't know. It doesn't really matter too much. And Richard, he's the most pissed out of them. He says, we're going to get our revenge. It's going to be more than just our limo. It's going to be worth more than just our phones, our dignity. It's not just going to be the limo and the entrance favoritism. No. We're going to really make them pay. So, Richard Holiday, he's going through and he's going to see if they can do some aggressive negotiation with some people close to the Acclaimed. I really liked the segment that I had with DMI where they were kind of they were basically, beating up a dude for information and kind of have this more sinister business side to them rather than just, we're rich, look at us. They do this because it is their match up next, and they do pick up the win, surprisingly. We can probably mark this up more to, I don't actually have it in notes, but we can mark it up more to probably just bad chemistry. So, yeah. It's fine. We can work with this. Who can't work with us, however, is Roosh, who's in his LFI lounge, and he's very angry. He's holding a wine glass in his hand, just crushes it. It's very obviously sugar glass, or maybe even something weaker, and he's pissed at this. He stands up, he glares at press fans, he's like, alright, you know what? It's time for plan B. After seeing their chances of the Continental Classic win crumbling, Vance, he's like, you sure you want to go through with this, but does end up accepting plan B. Mojo in action defeats Kip Sabian. Yeah. Don Callis was on commentary for the match. I did actually have him on commentary, but I don't think he's part of the storyline. And he says, it's real good to stretch out the legs every once in a while, huh, Joe? Go out there and take down a little bit of fresh blood. Well, Joe, you'll be able to get quite a good amount of rest and stretching when the god of pro wrestling, Konosuke Takeshita, takes that belt off of you. Joe, while Don Callis is waffling on, he's got a mic. He gets, speaks into it. Says, you know what, Don Callis, you got a big mouth on you. Instead of flapping your lips, want to let Konosuke Takeshita speak for himself. So after a little bit, Takeshita does end up, his music hits, he walks out as well. He yells a bit in Japanese before reiterating in English. So you're going to make sure that both Samoa Joe and Swerve Strickland go down on Saturday next week to Konosuke Takeshita, and that he will be the next champ. That is then interrupted by Swerve coming out, who says that Don Alice is just, he's Again, he hypes himself up a little bit for saying that Don Callis is just some snake oil salesman with Takeshi as his phony goods. Joe fancies himself, the head of the nest of vipers. Swerve's the real snake in the grass. He's going to strike them next week. Bit corny there. I wrote this at like 2 in the morning or something like that. 1:30 in the morning. I wanted to get through with it. But 82 rated segment, pretty damn good on here. Now this is a vignette shown at the Institute of Limitless Knowledge, with Mickie James performing a guest instruction session, and Bayley Starks is especially shining. Mickie points this out, but they're stopped by a slow, sarcastic clap coming from the entrance to their gymnasium. Killer Kelly starts walking out. Kelly taunts the group a little bit, saying that learning from Mickie James is what got her to where she is in the first place. And, in hindsight, she does have to thank Mickie James for eventually leading her to Mustafa Ali, but now it's time to really take out the trash. Of course, probably leaning into the delivery of that because the whole Mickie James got her stuff returned to her in a trash bag stuff, and I have no idea if I don't think Killer Kelly ever was actually mentored by Mickie James, but too bad, we're going with it. Billy then jumps to Mickey's defense, saying that she's not just going to let any harm come to a legend like Mickie James. She's not going to let Killer Kelly keep insulting her. Killer Kelly is intrigued by the fire that Billy Starks is showing. She says that next week on Dynamite, they can face off. Noel Clayton, as you kind of figured before, did pick up the win over Tenille Dashwood following some interference by Thunder Rosa. Now, Tenille, very unhappy with this match. And understandably so, this is literally Noel Clayton's first match ever. 27 rating actually is pretty good for literally 0 pop. Thunder Rosa in with the interference helps in the storyline. I didn't keep Tenille strong because it didn't really change It didn't change Tenille being upset, and I might as well have Noel get a bigger pop boost. And strong connection with the young female demographic is really nice. I'm going to assume, inexperience, inconsistency, inexperience. I'll eventually bump that up. Thunder Rosa ended up costing Tenille the match, leading to a surprising win for the debutante, who quickly rolls out of the ring. Soraya and Ruby are quick to jump at Noel and Rosa, and they're beating them down when Willow Nightingale's music then hits, and she runs out to make the save. The Outcasts are eventually driven off, with Rosa holding up the hand of Noel in victory, and those two, as well as Willow Nightingale, are looking resolved to fight with the Outcasts. Bit of an odd pairing with Thunder Rosa being involved in this, but Noel seems like someone who could really benefit from Willow, and I mean, I need to book Willow better. I haven't really booked her at all, so it's at least a start. After this, Jack Perry is seen looking through some footage of previous shows, flicking through a variety of different matches, and eventually he lands on FTR's Continental Classic match on Dynamite, where he pauses. Just so FTR are not only trying to push him out of the company, but they're trying to weasel their way into another undeserving run of the tag team titles. She's not gonna interrupt their decision to go out there and fall short of the belts in the end, but when they're done with that, he's gonna kick them out of the company like they're trying to do to him. Not a great segment, but still, I advanced a lot of things on the show, which I'm gonna be very happy with. I don't know if we'll get a good rating, but I am happy with this show for sure. The Righteous continue their big run of form since joining up with Jake Roberts and pick up the win. It says after interference, but it's a roll-up. So yeah. After this, we see Adam Cole with the Undisputed Kingdom, Roddy Strong, and the Kingdom themselves are proudly displaying their titles. Adam Cole says, "It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? Seeing these boys with gold around their waists, around their shoulders, really able to just thrive. But there's still a few people out here without that big, beautiful beautiful thing to really round out their collection. Now, I get it for me. I get why I don't have a belt. I don't have a belt. Sadly, I busted my ankle trying to help out that dumbass Max. But there's still the big guy right here. Christian. I know you're someone who would just love to get acquainted with Wardlow, so why not do that? I get that you have your beef with Copeland, but there's only one Adam you really need to worry about. That's Adam Cole, baby. Wardlow, I think it's time you get what's rightfully yours. And Wardlow, he smiles and he begins to talk for himself, thinking that he's already been champion 3 times and he has no intention of losing it a 4th time. He not only rips the title out of Christian Cage's hands, but also rips his career out from under him. So again, pushing the Undisputed Kingdom a little bit more as well. Nick Wayne defeats Bad Dude Tito before Christian Cage grabs the mic, saying that it was not hard to see what Adam Cole is planning. I mean, as in, like, he was watching on a screen backstage or something like that, or just watching the Tron that was showing to the rest of the audience. But Christian already has a challenger lined up for the TNT title with Roosh. Roosh did cut a promo a while back, saying that he was going for the TNT title instead. And Adam Cole isn't going to easily get at him as long as his pride and joy, Nick Wayne, is out here. He's more relevant at 18 years old than Matt Taven and Mike Bennett have been in their entire careers combined. And Christian welcomes Wardlow's challenge, vows to let him to go and meet his father. I do not know if Christian and Wardlow have had a feud, but I do know Wardlow has a dead dad. So, God, that's so weird to say out of context. Hype package is then shown of Stephanie Vaquer and Toro Salvaje. Thank you to Jandres for correcting me. It is Salvaje. I guess I just misread when I used Google Translate. And the hype package is narrated by Excalibur. Package shows Vaquer as the CMLL World's Women's Champion, as well as Salvaje's brutal skill in the ring. Excalibur says that's entirely possible that they're going to be a danger to the entire company. It seems like Stephanie has keyed in on the on IWGP's Mayu Iwatani and AEW's own Chris Statlander. And neither of them can speak English, so I have Excalibur do it for them. In our main event, Athena defeats Britt Baker with an O-face following some interference by Shit, I think I fucked this up. I don't think I meant to have that in there. As in, like, I realized afterwards that, well, that's fine. After the match, Toni Storm's music plays. She walks onto the ramp, and she's being very over the top. She compliments Athena on a very good victory against someone who's aged worse than the bananas I had yesterday, saying that while Athena may be able to take out these honorable people or occupational wrestlers, there's no one with the pizzazz, the panache of timeless Toni Storm. Toni's grandstanding is then interrupted by Jamie Hayter coming out. She knocks down Luther and Mariah May. She gets up in Toni's face. She does not fight Toni, but she uses Toni's mic to speak. As in, like, Toni, she has the mic kind of like, she's holding it, just all aghast. And Jamie kind of just grabs it, or maybe, Toni has it close enough to her, close enough to mouth level for Jamie to speak into it. And Jamie vows that she's going to save AEW from the mockery that Toni has made it, and she wants that fight ASAP. Toni declines, first of all saying that it is Miss Athena who has the rightful first match. But then, Jamie Hayter is attacked from behind by Utami Hayashida. Toni introduces as her top bodyguard and her personal stunt double. They taunt for Athena to come over, but Athena declines. Holding up her ROH title as Toni holds up her AEW Women's title. The show comes to an end. Utami as part of Toni's group is probably going to be a bit of a questionable decision. And I remember when I booked this, I was thinking it definitely is a little bit weird. First of all, I know I have to change Utami to be heel. She was supposed to be heel in the first place. but I screwed that up. But the fact that you have, again, Tommy, fantastic worker, and I think could really do well. I'm not really that big on Mariah May, personally. So we'll see how Utami and Mariah act with each other. They have some Stardom history, I'm sure they do. But still, that does end our show. That's fine. 67. Yeah, not a very good rating in game, but this is honestly, again, this is a very, very good show in my opinion. I'm very happy with this. I moved a lot. I think it was like 20 segments in here. And while this is definitely a bit more jam-packed than I would usually do, or than I would probably usually like, I think that this is more in the right direction to be boosting a bunch of storylines. I mean, we boosted storyline for all but 2 championships, I think. We didn't do anything with the the international. Yeah, we didn't do anything with international or continental. But I think that's it. And TBS. TBS also did not get anything going in here. So 3 championships that don't get anything. But other than that, a lot of good stuff in here. Again, I'm happy with the show, but of course what's more important is what y'all think. So, if you have any suggestions for ways I can improve things, if you have anything that you might want to see or to discuss with me doing, I am happy to hear that, but that will have to wait for any results from that until we head to Dynamite.